Hi, I'm Olivia,
Hi, I'm Maggie.
and this is Girls Talk Film. This is a podcast about movies, and every week we pick 3 films that share a similar theme, tone, setting, type of character, and we break them down and compare and contrast.
And last week we did Adolescence in kind of like a boy's perspective. And this week we're doing a 2-parter. So we're doing Adolescence through like girlhood and the lens of girls.
Yes, I'm excited for this one.
I feel like we say that every episode.
We do!
We literally, every episode, I'm like, I had a great week. Like, I promise there's going to be an episode where I'm like, I hated all 3 movies, you guys. Because we don't try to pick like our favorite movies.
No, we try to do like a range that fits within whatever topic we're talking about. But these so happened this week I really enjoyed all 3 of our movies.
Yeah, I was going to say like last week, I thought all 3 were really good. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed the movies last week a lot more. I think just because I was more familiar with them, like they are just some of my favorite movies, like period.
Yeah,
But I still really enjoyed the movies we watched this week.
me too. I might have liked this week a little more.
Really?
Yeah, this one. So the 3 movies that we are going to talk about today are Lady Bird, Welcome to the Dollhouse, and Juno.
Yes.
And I had seen Lady Bird, had seen, I think, parts of Welcome to the Dollhouse, hadn't really watched the whole thing through, and I'd never seen Juno. And
Really?
Never, yeah.
I don't know why that's so shocking to me, but
I don't know. I never had the urge to watch it. Very pleasantly surprised. I was going to bring something up addressing the multiple comments we've gotten about that we're putting on Valley Girl voices.
Well, I promise you we're not. Olivia and I just talk like this.
Unfortunately for you,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, like I'm sorry if you find our fake accent. That's not fake grading, but like I literally don't know what to do.
Yeah, I've never been told I have a Valley Girl voice before doing this, and now I'm super conscious about it.
Yeah,
really.
A few times I have, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
You look so ashamed.
No, like I was like, because I think the Valley Girl accent gets kind of like associated with being dumb.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of like not meant to be an insult always, but I think sometimes when people say it,
It's implying dumb.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sure that that's what some of the people who were commenting may have
meant.
intending.
Oh,
yeah.
definitely. So, all right. Do we just want to hop into the films this week?
Yeah, I'm especially excited for the first one.
This is a real favorite, I think, of girls in our generation because this came out when we were in high school.
It's like came out the perfect time for people in our age group.
I think we were Lady Bird's
Yeah.
age when
Yeah.
this came out. Like, we were 16, 17 at the time, which is kind of the perfect time to see this film. I saw it in the theaters with my mom, and which was a very special experience.
I actually watched it with I think my mom and I think my grandma was there too.
Aw.
So yeah, like interesting.
Intergenerational
Yeah.
of women.
Yeah, so the first movie we're watching is Lady Bird. Came out in 2017, and it is a comedy drama directed by Greta Gerwig. Was this her directorial debut?
Yes, it was.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wait, no, maybe Frances Ha?
I want to say, yeah.
Did she direct that?
I want to say she did something like
She
she either
definitely
wrote
wrote
it.
it.
Okay, so
Maybe. I think Noah Baumbach directed it. But
Yes.
I'm like, she wrote it. Watch us be so wrong.
yeah,
Like, watch
it's
it be
like,
the opposite.
We're gonna pull up like the Rotten Tomatoes like IMDb like thing to prove us wrong if we are.
Literally, I think this might have been her directorial debut. We'll figure it out after
Yeah.
this. So yeah, it was directed and written by Greta Gerwig. It premiered at the 2017 Telluride Film Festival and was picked up for distribution by A24. And it premiered as a wide release in November 2017. It was nominated for a slew of Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, Best Actress for Saoirse Ronan, and Best Supporting Actress for Laurie Metcalf. I've always kind of taken issue with this Best Director nomination, I'm not going to lie.
Again, whenever we talk about like what movies get Oscar nominations, I'm always like, well, what else came out that year? Like I'm trying to remember.
Just like, especially for direction.
You don't think it's a well-directed movie?
I think it's fine directed. I would have more given her the director nomination for Little Women, which I know she didn't get.
Okay, that's a fair point.
I was really surprised that she got one for this, and then I was really surprised that she didn't get one for Little Women, and I would have way more thought she should have gotten one for Little Women than for this.
Interesting, because I kind of disagree. I think like the performances in Lady Bird are so good.
They are.
And I think like a lot of it is probably like her direction, because this is like a pretty personal movie for Greta Gerwig.
Yes, and that is very clear. I guess recalling back to the first time I watched it, and also just how I think about the movie, I never think of it as something with a really strong voice outside of its characters and script.
Okay, that I will give you that.
Like compared to especially the other films that we watch, like Welcome to the Dollhouse and Juno, which both have such strong personalities.
They are like, the films are a character. You could personify them so easily.
Yes. I don't know. I guess I think the performances in Lady Bird are excellent. I take no issue with the acting nominations whatsoever. Just, I don't know. I was surprised at the Best Director nom.
Okay. All right. I'll give it to you. You make a good point.
I don't know. That's just me, though.
So we're in the fall of 2002. Christine McPherson, who calls herself Lady Bird, is a senior at a Catholic high school in Sacramento, California.
Yeah, and right away we can tell that Christine Lady Bird is a very strong-willed, independent thinker teenager.
She wants to like, also she's played by Saoirse Ronan.
Yes, who is so good in this.
She's so good, and she's like kind of my, like how you are with Emma Stone, I am with Saoirse Ronan.
That's valid. I see that.
I think she's
pretty great in
insane.
everything.
Yeah,
She's one. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
She's one of those teenage girls that really kind of wants to rebel and wants to be important in some way, but she doesn't really know what she wants to rebel against or how she wants to be important.
So despite her family's financial struggles, she aspires to attend a prestigious liberal arts college in a city with culture on the East Coast, so like New York, Boston.
Yes, she finds her hometown of Sacramento very dull and samey. She wants to go where the writers are in New York.
And I love her mom like shutting her down every 2 seconds about it.
Yes. Yeah. So we learn very quickly that Lady Bird and her mother, Marion, who is played by Laurie Metcalf, have a very fraught relationship. During a car ride in the opening scene of the film, Marion tells Lady Bird that she is ungrateful and her dreams are unrealistic, which she's not wrong.
No, she is like the perfect, like, blunt mother.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to prove a point to her mother, Lady Bird jumps out of the moving car and breaks her arm.
I mean, we'll probably like bring it up throughout this whole summary of the movie, but like the thing that makes this movie soar is the dynamic between Lady Bird and her mother. Like,
yes,
I've never seen such an accurate mother-daughter relationship.
Yes, it's very fraught, it's very contentious, but they always kind of end up coming home to each other, which is, I think, very reflective of anyone who went through tumultuous teenage years, and especially as a girl. This is incredibly reflective of literally every girl's relationship with their mother in some way.
Yes, yeah. In some scene, you can find yourself being like, oh my gosh, I do that with my mom.
Yes.
So Lady Bird and her best friend Julie decide to join their high school's theater program, where Lady Bird meets this boy named Danny, and he's played by Lucas Hedges. Lady Bird and Danny start dating, but the relationship is short-lived when she discovers him making out with another boy in the bathroom stall at the cast party. This scene is so funny.
This whole sequence of Lady Bird joining theater, seeing Danny, who he's, for anyone who did high school theater,
it is so accurate.
he's the straight theater boy. He's, well,
Straight,
we find out
yeah.
maybe not, but there's always one. There is always one in every theater program, and all the girls are always in love with him.
Oh my God.
And he kind of has that straight but not totally air.
Exactly. It's such a like,
the whole sequence of her seeing him sing, immediately falling in love with him.
and I love that he's like the most talented boy in theater, and he's like cute, but like he's not like
he's
super
cute but
handsome.
unthreatening.
He's cute theater boy. I love how traumatized she is like when she sees them making out. Like she's like crying and like she's so betrayed, and it's just so like, again, like high school. Like
It is, and you just want to pat her on the back and go like, like we've all been there.
Right.
We've all been in love
fallen
with
for
a gay man at some point.
Exactly.
So at her mother's behest, Lady Bird gets a job at a local coffee shop where she meets another Immaculate Heart student, a musician named Kyle, who is played by Timothée Chalamet.
This is where everyone started thirsting for him.
I saw him in this movie. There's a shot, you know it. We all know it, where she looks out the window of the cafe and he's sitting outside reading a book. When I tell you, my heart was aflutter. And he plays the absolute best version of this kind of like pompous high school asshole who's like, he's the rich kid that's like, you really shouldn't run your AC, like the environment. And it's like, doesn't your family own like 5 houses?
Right. Right. Don't you own like a G-Wagon that you're like constantly like burning through gas in?
He tells her at some point, he's like, oh, I don't own a phone. Like, I don't own a tracking device.
Oh my God.
It's like, shut up. But the way that at 17, I would have been so head over heels for him.
He's like perfect casting.
He was so good in this. I think this film is a big reason of why he got so big around this time.
Oh, 100%.
Not only is Timothée Chalamet just like incredibly good looking, but he's so funny in this. He's so funny in this.
Also, that shot of him like at the coffee shop with the book, just because that whole like performative male like ally thing is going around right now, that he is the epitome of that, like with his book, and he's like mysterious and he speaks in riddles all the time. You're like, oh my God. But you're right, he is like,
oh, that image lives rent free in my head.
Yeah.
Burned into my brain. I saw that and I went
16-year-old you were like,
I was blushing. Like,
no,
I was,
yeah.
when he was like kind of flirting with her, I was blushing.
Yeah.
Oh
If I knew a guy like that, I would be totally be into someone like that.
Oh my God. So Kyle and Lady Bird start dating, and she begins to drift away from Julie, who's kind of her cute little nerdy friend who's played by Beanie Feldstein.
They're clearly like have been best friends like all throughout high school.
Yes.
Maybe even longer.
Mm-hmm. And she starts moving away from her and hanging out more with Kyle's friends, who are like the cool kids, including a girl named Jenna. And to fit in with them, Lady Bird exaggerates her family's wealth. And we know that her family throughout the film has had a lot of financial struggles. There's a lot of talk of, will she be able to go to college? If she does, she probably won't be able to go out of state like she wants to.
Her father loses his job in
Yes.
the movie. It's so clear that she just wants, like, one, she's clearly a little embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a great part earlier where she's talking to her first boyfriend, Danny, and she's like, I live on the wrong side of the tracks. And it's like, she's clearly just trying to find like that individuality and trying to make something of herself and seem cool and different, and also is like a little embarrassed of her financial situation. But then you can see how like that comment actually really hurts her mother, because she's like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't realize like we lived in such a dump. And it's like, yeah, that is kind of a fucked up thing to say. Like,
it genuinely is. And when it's relayed back to her mother that she said that, there's like true, like real hurt on her face. Which
Yeah.
obviously, oh, like, I didn't realize you were embarrassed of our family.
yeah. And then you can see Lady Bird be like, no, that's not what I meant. And she's like frustrated, but you can tell she feels bad because she didn't want to hurt her mom's feelings. But like, she also was like, oh, my mom just doesn't understand me. And so there's so many moments like that in Lady Bird. And I think that's why like, Lady Bird never is grating or like obnoxious. And when she is, it's in such a relatable way, because you're like, oh my gosh, it's almost like you're watching your old stuff and you're like, oh my God, I used to do shit like that. And it's so like, it's such a teenage thing to do. So Lady Bird's new relationships begin to fall apart when Jenna actually goes to visit her and learns that Lady Bird gave her a fake address in like a very affluent neighborhood. That scene is so cringe to watch.
It's so hard to watch. She's on the phone. I'm at your house. And you know she's walking up to just this random stranger's house that Lady Bird gave the address of.
And Lady Bird's like home, and you can see the panic. Like
she starts pacing around.
Yeah, because how do you get out of that?
Yeah.
Like you're caught. So Lady Bird and Kyle are still dating, and they actually end up having sex for the first time.
This is like one of my favorite sex scenes ever in a movie.
It's, again, just so accurate.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. So they have sex, which is an experience that Lady Bird finds very underwhelming. Kyle then admits that he previously had lied to her about being a virgin. So Lady Bird's a virgin, and Kyle says that he is too. And then,
yeah, the first time they like make out, she tells him that she's a virgin. He goes, me too, me too. And then when she brings it up again,
after they've had sex,
and it's like, oh, like we lost our virginities to each other, he just gaslights her and is like, no, like I actually, like I've lost my virginity before this, and like I never told you I was a virgin. I never said that.
The best line in the movie where he's like, no, because that's a line. I haven't lied in 2 years. Like such a douchebag thing to say.
Oh my God, I love Kyle.
And,
I
like,
love this character.
I love how, like, again, he's such a perfect, like Timothée Chalamet just does
Plays
a great
him so
job
perfectly.
because he's like, why are you mad? Like, who cares? And like, she's like, I care. That's like something I care about.
Yeah, it's like what a little bit of a total betrayal that is.
No, yeah.
And this whole image that she had in her mind of what this was going to be and then what it was is just, wait, no, that's my version of reality has just kind of been ripped away from me. And something like this at that age is like kind of a big deal.
It's a huge deal, yeah. So obviously very upset. This is actually such a sweet scene. You go to your mom, like in a situation where like, oh, you just need like a good cry. So Lady Bird like goes to her mother and just like breaks down, and her mom like I also love like how Laurie Metcalf like portrays the mother. Like she knows like, okay, don't ask questions right now. Like I just need to be here for my daughter.
And they had been fighting a lot up until this
it's
point.
been very tense between them. So it's nice to see like them come together in such a vulnerable moment.
So Marion has been begging Lady Bird to only apply to California colleges just due to their financial situation. And she tells her that her father, Larry, has lost his job and he just can't afford out-of-state tuition. So what was like maybe a possibility is now just we cannot afford it. Larry, though, secretly encourages Lady Bird to apply to her dream schools on the East Coast. Like it just clearly breaks her father's heart that him getting fired has affected his daughter's ability to live her dream and to go where she wants.
Yeah.
So obviously he's doing what any dad would do and encouraging her to apply anyway, because he's like, there's no harm in applying.
When admission decisions are released, Lady Bird is upset to find that she has been rejected from basically all the East Coast schools she applied to, except for one. She is waitlisted for a university in New York, and she chooses not to tell her mother.
Yes.
Because, again, they can't afford out-of-state tuition. So.
And her mother will be mad if she finds out she even applied.
Yeah.
So senior year is coming to an end. On prom night, Kyle, Jenna, and Jenna's boyfriend decide to skip prom and go to a house party instead. Which, they're like the kids that are too cool for school. They're like, prom's actually lame. Let's just like go to Charlie's house.
Yeah, like why? Why would you? And I love when Lady Bird is like, actually, I do want to go to prom.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go to my high school senior prom. And
she's in the car with them and she's starting to be like, oh, okay, like I'll go with you guys. Then it's actually, no, like I want to go.
I love the realization on her face where she's like, no, I actually do want to go.
Me too. Also,
and everyone judges her.
Everyone judges her. And also when Kyle comes to pick her up from her house and does not even come to the door, like they're going to prom together, doesn't even come to the door, he honks.
Olivia, I have to make a quick PSA. For all the guys watching out there, this is an epidemic.
Has this happened to you?
Yes. Not honked, but text message.
Okay, that has happened to me too.
Like,
but it wasn't for something like prom.
Okay, sorry. It wasn't for prom.
Okay.
I should clarify that. But if you're on a date with a girl, or
come to the door.
Come to the door, ring the doorbell, knock on the door. I don't care what the situation is. It is so cringy to get the I'm here text. Okay. Go sit in the car then. Like,
good for you.
It annoys me so much. And like, I have been in a situation where I'm like, okay, come up and ring the fucking bell.
Yeah.
Like,
be a man.
Yeah. going to be 25 in like a week. Like
Oh my God, that's right.
am not, happy early birthday. But I cannot participate with men who are going to be like, I'm here.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
No, come on. Be a man. Talk to my mom.
Ring the fucking doorbell. Okay, PSA over.
So when Lady Bird changes her mind to go to prom, she shows up to her best friend who she had kind of ditched to hang out with Kyle and his friends. She shows up to Julie's apartment and they rekindle their friendship and go to prom together. And we also find out in that scene that Julie hadn't been asked to prom. So she was also just going to stay home because no one asked her to go.
That actually like broke my heart.
But the kind of wonderful girly thing of like, well, I did buy a dress.
Yeah.
No one asked me, but I bought the dress.
Yeah. And it's just so
and then
sweet.
they go together and
yeah,
have a
and they're
great
like
time.
dancing together and I love that.
Yeah, no, it was cute. So a few weeks pass and Marion finds out that Lady Bird is on the wait list for this New York school, which she was not supposed to apply to.
Oh my God, this scene when she finds
Brutal.
out, like Danny breaks the news in like a very I didn't mean to way.
Some like Danny, her gay ex-boyfriend,
Ex-boyfriend.
who they're kind of friendly again now.
Yeah.
Comes up to her table at a graduation party and is like, oh my God, I heard about the wait list.
The look on everybody's faces, it's so accurate. Like it's like, oh my God. Like
Immediately also Danny is like, shit.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you're like dreading the car ride home because you know that that's when mom is going to like turn on. Mm-hmm. Marion is obviously furious about this wait list and she decides to give Lady Bird the silent treatment.
Yeah, and that lasts all summer, even after Lady Bird is accepted and decides to go to New York.
I gotta say, we both have pretty strict mothers.
Yeah.
That is terrifying.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This is the one thing about the film that I'm like, oh, that actually really pisses me off.
Really?
I mean, I understand it for the context of the film, and then it leads to like this really meaningful moment. I think it's so cruel to give someone the silent treatment. Like, I actually think that's like the cruelest possible thing you can do to someone.
Well, it
just to
is.
completely ice them out for months.
I think that's like, again, like I love how flawed not only Lady Bird is, but Marion is a pretty flawed character too. Like,
no, totally.
Is that not so immature of like a mother to do?
Oh, completely.
But like, it's so, and I love the scene.
Parents aren't perfect.
No,
and
yeah.
You're totally right. No one is perfect. It just really pisses me off when I watch it. Just talk to her.
Oh, see, it's funny because it makes me really sad. Like, especially the scene in the kitchen where Lady Bird is like, yell at me, just please talk to me. Like, I actually get a little emotional in that scene because I'm like, oh my God, you're right. Like, it's so much better to like know that they're angry at you and that it'll pass than like just being completely stonewalled. Yeah, it's
brutal.
It's really brutal.
So the day Lady Bird is leaving for New York, her parents drop her off at the airport, but Marion refuses to go inside with her and say goodbye. So she like drove in silence and dropped her off at the airport in silence. And this is like a great scene though.
When she's like, nope, I'll wait in the car. And like you can see Lady Bird be like so frustrated and upset. And you can also see like Marion kind of regretting it as she's sitting there, but she's like, she's made her decision and she can't like go back on her, you know, what she wants.
Well, as she starts to drive away, and it's this great long take that just holds on Laurie Metcalf's face. So she starts to pull away and she's driving and immediately is like, what am I doing? And you can just see it on her face. And she tries and she does a U-turn and then runs back into the airport. But by the time she gets back in, Lady Bird's already gone through security. So she can't.
It's too late.
It's too late to say goodbye.
And she just breaks down in her husband's arms. And her husband is like, I know.
He's probably like, I told you.
No, like he is. He's like, he so knew she was going to come back. And he's just like, it's okay. Like, we'll call her when she gets there. And it's just like that thing of like, oh, you're right. Like your parents aren't perfect. And like, but you can see like, oh, I don't know. It's going to make me emotional.
Of course. So after arriving in New York, Lady Bird finds several heartfelt unfinished letters from her mother in her luggage. So her mother had attempted many, many times to write her a letter and then didn't think any of them were satisfactory and like scrapped them up and threw them all away. And Lady Bird's dad recovered all of them and put them in the suitcase for Lady Bird to read. And it's like it's a really sweet scene and just, I'm sure, provided her a lot of comfort to see. It's not that she didn't care. She was angry and didn't know how to handle it.
I said that the scene earlier might make me cry, but I actually am like really getting emotional right now.
The end of the film is very emotional.
It's just like, but like just something about like how a mother like can't always express her emotions to her daughter, but they're still there. Like it just, I'm gonna stop talking now. Aww. But like it is just something
she's
that like
actually getting teary
always
right now.
It chokes me up. And like I love coming of age movies, but I also love movies that explore family dynamics, specifically that of a mother and daughter, because like
it's such a unique and special relationship.
Exactly. So like this scene where she opens the letters and sees all of them, and then you see like Laurie Metcalf like writing them, I'm like, I can't fucking do this. So on her first night of college, Lady Bird does what everybody does.
Do they?
Actually, neither of us did.
Neither of us did.
But we're kind of losers when it comes to stuff like that.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, I'm a loser.
For
I was a loser
yourself.
in college when I did stuff like that.
I went out 3 nights a week. On freshman year, I didn't miss a single night. I went out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, every single week freshman year, which is kind of insane, and I never did that again.
Listen,
but
freshman year, Maggie was all about that life. Middle of sophomore year, she was done. Then I was done with it. So Lady Bird on her first night of college drinks way too heavily at a party and ends up being hospitalized.
It's a very funny little sequence.
Yes. After being released, she walks into a church and is moved to tears by the music. She calls home and leaves a message for her mother, thanking her for all her help. Oh,
I really loved that. And I mean, this is also just, we both grew up Catholic.
Yes, we did.
And assuming that Greta Gerwig also grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
Because the moment of like walking into the church and hearing the music and feeling like that's home. And like Lady Bird is not religious. It's not about religion. It's about like that she's in an unfamiliar city and this is something familiar in this new crazy place.
Could you not in that moment relate to like your mom being like, it's time to go to church? Like
when I was little, we were we were like fair weather Catholics. We went on holidays and then occasionally on a Sunday, but I did also go to a Catholic school. So
gotcha. So that's how you made it up. Because I was like, we were like in every, because I used to read at the church.
Oh, you were one of those.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Friday afternoons we had practice, and then Sundays we would read. And
look at you. I was always jealous of those kids.
Oh, you shouldn't have. You should have. It was a lot of work for like 20.
I just wanted the attention.
You know what? I always wanted to be one of the people who like rang the bell or like like actually wore the like white like robes
or with the incense
please, I wanted that so bad. Like literally, are they hiring?
I think the priests do that.
No, I know. But yeah, that scene is another one that just like, and I love the phone call she gives at the end, especially like her talking about Sacramento.
Yeah. It's just like a really solid, great film. Everyone that I've shown this film to like a decent amount of people, and everyone's really liked it.
I think it has like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I see why.
It's a great movie. Like it's
funny. It's heartfelt. It's really well paced.
Yes.
It is.
Thank you.
So well paced. It comes in at like an hour 45, I want to say.
Yeah, around there.
And it flies by.
Yeah, there's no point where you really feel like it's dragging.
No, it's tonally consistent the whole way through, even though it does switch between some broader comedic moments and some like very quiet, thoughtful moments. It all feels seamless.
And again, like it's got really great performances. I think it's shot very well.
Yeah.
Like nothing really stands out cinematography wise.
It's shot like fine.
Yeah, but like it's not like I think it's visually very aesthetic to what it wants to be.
Yeah.
It's fun, it's funny, and it's just like, especially as like a coming of age movie. Like, again, when this movie came out, I was 17, you were probably 16. It's kind of like, did you see 8th Grade?
8th Grade is one of my favorite coming of age movies of all time. I love that movie.
It's just like, that's another movie where I'm like, oh my God, that was me in middle school. So Lady Bird is like, oh my God, that was me in like high school when I was 16. Through the lens of like girlhood and coming of age, like I love this movie for that. But
this is definitely one of my favorite like girl coming of age movies.
Yes.
100%. And
Yeah,
I think it's
same.
a great one. I think it's just like a great script. And again, even watching it this time, I could not get over how well paced it was. It's just so well done because we follow Lady Bird from the beginning of her senior year
To
up
the
until
end.
she leaves for college.
Yeah.
And it just is really cohesive and well done. Yeah, I really like this film. I'm going to go... I'm feeling generous today, and I'm going to give it an 8.
Oh, okay.
Even though I would have probably given it a 7 or 7.5. I'm going to go 8 because I really, really liked it on this last viewing.
Honestly, maybe it's just because like I watched it like first in our lineup of movies. So it's like been a while since I like rewatched it. But
Fair enough.
honestly, I'm feeling generous, so I'm going to give it a 9.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
It's my rating.
Fair
So-
enough. Taxi driver gets a 6.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Interesting segue to this next movie. We talked about high school. Now we're going to go back a little bit.
Oh, yeah. We are going back to middle school for Todd Solondz's Welcome to the Dollhouse.
This movie is
a lot.
like, it's so, I
You know-
like it and I don't.
I love this movie. I also am a big Todd Solondz fan.
Really? I don't think I've seen his other work.
I'm not sure if you would like it.
Okay.
You might.
What?
I could
Could
be
you
wrong.
like name another one?
Happiness.
I do know that movie and I'm
Yeah.
curious to see it, but I think it's like one of those movies that like,
It's upsetting.
I hear it's very intense. Okay, I didn't know it was the same guy because
yeah. I think it
now-
was his follow-up to Welcome to the Dollhouse. I'm pretty sure.
now knowing that, I think maybe that's a reason why like I wasn't immediately like super enamored with Welcome to the Dollhouse because this was a first viewing for both of us, right?
No.
Oh.
Well, kind of. I had seen it. I had seen maybe the whole thing or fragments of it years back.
Oh, okay.
Like early high school. And I remember at the time, I just didn't really get it.
Well, so I say like I mentioned my first viewing because this was my first viewing and I had seen like kind of the poster and the trailer and I was like, I think I'm going to love this movie. But I think I wish I knew what it was before going in.
Yeah.
Same thing with Happiness. I think if you know what it is going in, you'll
Yes.
enjoy it
100%.
and you'll understand it.
This is like the blackest a black comedy can be.
Yeah.
It's a dark comedy and it's meant to be funny, but it's dark. This is also a film that I personally found to be very reflective of my experience in middle school. I was not bullied at all to the extent that Dawn is bullied, which is like she's bullied to the extent
She's bullied to death, basically.
like that to a level that no kid has ever been bullied before. So, Welcome to the Dollhouse premiered at the 1996 Sundance Film Festival and won the festival's grand jury prize. It was then distributed by Sony Pictures Classics and received a limited theatrical release in May 1996. And I believe Todd Solondz made this film. He self-financed it. And he made it for less than $1 million.
Really?
It doesn't look like it.
No, it actually looks pretty. Well, it's funny because like it looks like it's worth more than that.
Because
but
it's very
also-
stylized.
Yeah, it's so stylized, but it's also set in like such a like, you know, middle America, like tacky, lower class. So like it makes sense that like it could be a cheaper movie, but it looks really good.
It does. And just because immediately, and this is Todd Solondz's debut feature, his voice and style is established so immediately. And he keeps this same voice and style for the rest of his career.
I have to say it now just because we're talking about it and I don't know if I'll get the chance again. One of my first notes, like in the second like shot in the movie, I wrote, the production design of this movie is so great. Everything is so purposefully chaotic.
Yes. You know what it really reminded me of? Certain scenes in Secretary, which we watched a few weeks ago.
Exactly. It like Lee's home and everything like that.
It's abrasive.
It's abrasive, and the color, like it's one of those things where you can tell everything is placed for a reason, but it looks like it's there chaotically.
Yes.
Like, whereas you watch like a movie on like Lifetime or Hallmark that has bad production design and bad costuming, and it's
everything
like,
is generic.
everything's generic, or everything like doesn't really look like it's fitting together, but it's like doesn't look like it's on purpose. Like everything in Welcome to the Dollhouse, like the splashes of color and the like tacky clothes. Like at one point, one teacher has like an eye patch, and it's so like, but that's so great in the world that they live in.
Yes. So our protagonist is Dawn Wiener. What an unfortunate name. So Dawn is a shy and unpopular 7th grader who lives in a middle-class community in suburban New Jersey. Her older brother, Mark, is a nerdy high school student who plays clarinet in a garage band and is obsessed with getting into a good college. He is still somehow cooler than Dawn.
I would say most, if not everybody else in this movie, is cooler than Dawn. Even like the nerds bully her.
Their mother, Marge, clearly favors Dawn's little sister, Missy, over Dawn. And Missy is just like the most annoying little girl ever.
She's like the perfect, adorable, like ballerina, super cute.
But like she's the type of little sibling that like will do something and then blame it on her other siblings and get away with it.
Yeah, and just like always gets her way. So Dawn's only friend is Ralphie, and he is an effeminate 6th grade outcast. They play together in this little clubhouse that Dawn has created in her backyard.
At school, Dawn is bullied mercilessly to an extent that's like, how is this allowed?
No, to the point where like you're like, oh my gosh, like someone needs to do something.
She, like, her locker, the ceiling around her locker is like graffitied like that. They call her the wiener dog. And like above her locker in like giant graffiti, they wrote like wiener dog. And like her locker, it says like loser. Like it's horrible.
It's so comically awful.
It's really exaggerated level of bullying. One day, her teacher unfairly gives her detention after one of her bullies, this kid Brandon, tries to copy her answers on a test, and she gets in trouble. Because of course she does.
Yeah, that's like another thing is like teachers also kind of hate Dawn for no reason.
Yeah. That is actually something, especially in middle school, that I saw a decent amount. There were some teachers who like obviously are not great and like probably shouldn't be teachers.
Oh yeah.
Who they had students that they like picked on to the point of like, you have a target on this like little kid's back.
Right. Why do you have beef with an actual like 8-year-old?
No, fully. And it's like, and you're like trying to actively humiliate these kids in front of their peers. I don't know. I've had teachers that like have vendettas like that. And especially around these ages, which again, then I see middle schoolers and I'm like, how can an adult treat a child that way?
It's crazy. So Dawn has a crush on her brother's bandmate, Steve Rogers, who is this handsome, charismatic high schooler, even though one of Steve's former girlfriends tells her that she has, like, no chance of being with him.
Also, Steve's, like, in high school. Dawn's, she's 12.
She's a child, yeah. I do love the, like, immediate infatuation she has with him.
Because he's, like, well, he comes to her house to play guitar sexily in her brother's band. So he's, like, this cool older guy. And he's nice to her.
Yeah,
and no one else is nice to her.
Yeah.
So when Dawn calls Brandon, her bully, the R word during a confrontation, he threatens her with assault.
Crazy. This is, I think, where in the movie I was like, oh, wait, what am I watching? Like, that's the part where I was like, I wish I knew how black of a comedy this was.
Yes. This whole thing is actually quite, like, we're saying that and it sounds horrifying. It's actually quite funny in the film.
That's what I was saying with like some of the more fucked up parts. There's actually like, just again, it's the execution.
Yes.
And it's so
this is
well
clearly
done.
a kid who doesn't know what assault is.
Yes, he doesn't know what he's actually saying.
Yes, he has no clue. And that's so evident.
Yeah.
But what's so clear and what makes this funny is, one, he has no idea what he's saying. And two, this is also clearly another kid who like doesn't really have any friends, who maybe likes Dawn.
Yes. Well,
And he's trying to like ask her to hang out, but because she's such a loser and they have this really adverse relationship, this is the only way that he knows how to do that.
well, so she goes, meets him after school. They go to a junkyard. They're just like so awkward 'cause they're two kids.
They
Like
go
they're
to
just
like
sitting-
this junkyard
Yeah.
and they're just kind of standing there.
and he's kind of like kicking the ground because he doesn't really know what to do. And she's kind of like, should I? And she's so painfully awkward. She's like, should I lay down? And he's like, yeah, I guess. And she's like, oh, okay. So instead of assaulting her, Brandon has a very earnest conversation with her actually, and it's actually kind of sweet.
No, this whole thing is actually turns into something quite sweet.
And it ends with him kissing her, although it's so awkward when
It's
he kisses her.
painful. Yeah.
Yeah, because Dawn isn't into him. She's into Steve Rogers.
Of course. So at dinner that evening, Dawn refuses to tear down her clubhouse, which her parents want her to tear it down to make room in the backyard for their 20th anniversary party.
So fucked up.
It's so because also this clubhouse is Dawn's real only sanctuary. This is the only space that's really hers and that she really feels at home because her parents are so antagonistic towards her. So them just ordering her to tear it down, this is like taking away her soul.
And it's not like it's this huge like
No.
shed. It's like a little like box basically that she like can sit in.
And she is heartbroken. Like she is so broken up about this.
Right. And her parents are like, oh, can't you just do it? Like they don't understand. They don't even see that it's so important to her. So when she's asked to tear it down and she refuses, her mother Marge tells her siblings to destroy the clubhouse anyways because they need it further. Why do they even need it for the backyard? Like, how many times have you been in someone's? Well,
It's really
you
just
grew
like
up in
her
the
mom
city,
thinks
but
it's ugly and
it's like an
just
eyesore.
like it's an
for the
eyesore and she
party.
doesn't want it there for the party, which I just found this whole thing so cruel. Dawn and Brandon meet again and she tells him that she actually doesn't like him. She likes Steve Rogers, which gets him really angry and he storms away. Obviously, he's hurt. He had a crush and she rejected him.
He's also a kid who like literally has no idea how to handle his feelings.
No.
Like it's so evident from their first interaction, but like when he's like, oh, I'm going to assault you and stuff like that, like he literally has no way of expressing anything he feels.
And her friend Ralphie, who's kind of her only friend who they would play in the clubhouse together, Ralphie was spying on them and tries to comfort Dawn. But Dawn is just, she's very emotional. Like, this has all just been too much for her. And she angrily rejects him. And now she kind of has no friends. Ralphie was her only friend.
Sorry to interrupt you. Something that I love in this movie is how they show how like Dawn will be like insulted and then will like, they immediately show how she takes that anger out in the same way that people take anger out on her. So like they'll be at school and someone calls her like a mean word and then she'll like go and call her sister that. And then of course like her sister just tells her mom and then she gets in trouble.
But that is what is, I think, so great about this film. Like you said, I hate when kids in movies, like you can tell that an adult wrote their lines. This is accurate to how 12-year-olds act and how they handle their emotions because kids don't know how to handle their emotions in a healthy way. That's a lot of times that is what happens with kids. If they're angry, they kind of have to lash out because they just don't know how to handle it. And I appreciated that the kids in this movie feel like kids.
Oh yeah.
They don't feel like they're not reading some smart aleck dialogue that was clearly like written by some writer who thought he was being clever. Like they feel like kids. And I really like that. They're also actually kids.
Yeah.
Like they're all played by actual middle schoolers, which is, I always love to see that.
Yeah, it's always so refreshing to see like
It is.
No, you're right. Not
To
only
see
like
kids
kids
playing
being
kids.
kids,
Yeah.
but also like that dialogue be so accurate. Again, like maybe we should have watched 8th grade because I was gonna be like, oh my gosh, it's like 8th grade. Like all those kids are.
I would say all of those same things about 8th grade.
So at the anniversary party, Dawn intends to proposition Steve, but gets cold feet.
Thank God.
This reminds me of because she comes down like in her cutest outfit. And does it not remind you? Have you seen the trend on TikTok where it's like 11-year-old me thinking I was fine shit in front of like the lifeguard that was like 17?
Yes.
That trend, first of all, kills me because that was so me. But like that's what this is giving in the scene.
Oh, 100%.
Because have you not been a 10-year-old girl and you see some hot like 18-year-old guy and you're
oh,
like,
does he think I'm cute? It's like he thinks you're a child.
yeah, it's like I hope he doesn't. But yeah, she gets cold feet. And Missy pushes Dawn into the kiddie pool. Then later that evening,
And everyone laughs.
yes, even the
whole
adults.
party laughs at her. It's horrible.
Right. This is like the moments where you have to remember that this is like a black comedy and meant to be like not very realistic in
Yes.
this sense because it's like no parent would ever like laugh at even like if it's not your kid, you wouldn't laugh at that.
No, but I love how it literalizes that feeling of humiliation. Because when you're that age, if that happens to you, no matter if people are or aren't laughing at you, you feel like everyone's laughing at you.
Later that evening, the family watches a videotape of the party and they again start laughing when Dawn falls. They keep like replaying it.
So cruel.
It's so awful. And Dawn's sitting right there and she's like Later that night, Dawn actually smashes the videotape with a hammer and briefly holds it over Missy's head while she sleeps.
I mean, she doesn't kill her. But after watching that scene, you get it.
It's just so funny. Like, I love, Dawn is played by Heather Matarazzo, who is so perfectly casted.
She is actually brilliant. And she was like 12.
Right,
when she
she's
did
a
this.
little girl.
So a few days later, Brandon is expelled from school for suspected drug dealing.
Crazy.
It's like 12. Meanwhile, Dawn's father's car breaks down one night and Marge has to go pick him up. Marge is Dawn's mother. And she instructs Dawn to tell Missy, her little sister, to get a ride home with her ballet teacher because she can no longer pick him up. She has to pick up her husband. When she and Missy get into an argument, though, Dawn chooses to not tell her that she will not be being picked up. Missy is left stranded after ballet class and is kidnapped.
That is fucking hilarious.
It's so funny.
It is literally the, like, anyone who has, like, siblings or anything like that has ever been in a situation like, that is the worst fear. That is the thing where you're like, oh my gosh, but what if she got kidnapped? Like, I really should tell her. And then it happens.
And their parents obviously freak out. A police search ensues.
Oh, it is like FBI, like top story on the news that night that like Missy is gone.
There's also just this great exchange between Dawn and her father that I actually burst out laughing. Dawn is trying to comfort her father and she goes, well, you still have me and Mark. And he just goes, oh. Like he audibly, like painfully just groans.
Right. He is like accepting that. Oh God, it's so great. So Dawn visits Brandon's home and meets his mentally challenged brother and very aggressive father.
So we see that his kind of bullying and attitude and anger comes from the fact that he has a really unstable home life.
Yes. She tells Brandon that she wants to be his girlfriend, but he's kind of like too little too late, and he's running away to New York to avoid being sent to a reformatory school. This was a sad goodbye.
This was like one of the moments that I thought was like really cute.
Yeah.
And it's also this kid, he's like a bag and he's like heading off to the city.
And then he's like, come
all
with
right.
me. And she's like, oh, I can't. And it's like so dramatic.
And they're so little.
I know, they're so small.
They kiss, and Brandon assures Dawn that he is not a drug dealer and that it was one of his friends who was dealing drugs. And it's kind of like, do we believe him? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
And he asks her one more time, like, to come with, and she's just a little unsure. So
I can't.
No, it literally, she's just like, I need more time. Like, it's so funny how, like, these adult issues with these, like, little tiny kids.
Back at home, Marge is informed that Missy's tutu was found in Times Square. So Dawn decides to take it upon herself to go to New York to look for her sister. She spends the night in New York searching the streets of the city and ends up sleeping on the sidewalk. And it's just very fun how it's like Dawn can't even get kidnapped.
That's what I was thinking,
like,
too.
she's sleeping on the streets of New York, like, with all the homeless people.
Right. In Times Square.
And it's like, she's not even good enough to kidnap.
No,
like,
no one even comes up
for
to
that.
her. No one even bothers her.
No.
Like, she's literally, and I love the,
And also the fact that no one notices she's missing.
No
one notices or
notices.
cares that she's gone.
I love the dream sequence she has.
Yeah.
Where she finds Missy and saves her from this, like, evil, cartoonish kidnapper in the subway. And then everyone's like, we love you, Dawn. And it's kind of sad, but it also made me chuckle.
Isn't that so sad, though, that her fantasy is literally just her family and, like, someone telling her that they love her?
It's just, but, like, I guess that's what makes it a black comedy, because that
Exactly.
made me laugh.
No, that's it. Those kind of things are what make it really funny, but also really sad.
Right. You're like, it's so fucked up. But, like, just, again, the execution of everything is so spot on.
Yes. So when she phones home in the morning, she learns that Missy was found alive and unharmed by the police after being abducted by a neighbor. And she's like, where are you?
They're literally like, you better come home. Mom's mad. Like, so Dawn gets on a bus, goes back to town, and is forced to give a thank you speech at her school to acknowledge everyone who, like, helped in the search to find Missy.
Brutal.
Yeah. While she's speaking, her classmates start, like, heckling her.
To the point the entire auditorium starts chanting mean names at her. And she's just standing there like...
She just says, like, again, I love Heather Matarazzo in this role, because she is so just, like, you can't even tell if she's numb or she's just, like, confused. She's like, wait, what is even happening right now? Like,
I think she's so numb to all of it. That's how I took it, at least, is that she just deals with this kind of cruelty on such a daily basis.
yeah. So later that week, Dawn is on a bus ride to Walt Disney World for a concert tour with the school choir. It's kind of like a field trip. Mm-hmm. This is something that's been kind of, like, brought up throughout the movie too.
Yes. And just the final moment of the film is Dawn sitting alone on the bus as all of her classmates are talking and laughing around her. And it's kind of just, her life has literally never been worse. And they're going to Disney World, which
right.
is just the cherry on top.
Happiest
of the cake.
place on earth.
Happiest place on earth. It's brilliant. I thought this movie was amazing and funny, and it helps you make light of some of the worst things that have happened in childhood. It helped me, at least. I found that it did.
Gotcha. It's I wish I could, like, put my okay, well, I now talking about it with you, I definitely appreciate it more. And I think it was, my issue was I didn't know what it was going into it.
That
I
is
think
so
I
fair.
thought it would be a little bit more like Lady Birdish, where it's a little bit more accurate, like, coming of age, just with, like, a kind of quirky lens. Mm-hmm. It's totally not.
It is not. No, it's a bleak film.
Yeah. So I think maybe on a second watch, I would like it a lot more. But, like, yeah, I guess the first watch, I was a little like, that's not what I expected.
For me, the thing that makes this film watchable, because it's really just, you are watching this little girl, it's just cruelty after cruelty after cruelty is just heaped on her. But the thing that makes it, one, watchable, and two, actually quite funny, is that Todd Solondz, clearly, there's such a tenderness that he has and that the film has towards Dawn, and it's the world around her that the film is angry at.
Yes, that's actually a perfect way to say it.
It's angry at the world that puts someone like Dawn, who is kind of pure-hearted, through all of the horrible things that she has to go to.
And again, they never give you reason for why everyone is so cruel to her. Like
No.
they're just cruel because they are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is the thing that I think makes the film watchable and makes it so that you are able to laugh at some points. It's because the film never looks down on Dawn. If anything, the film is like Todd Solondz is quite loving through the lens toward Dawn. Like, you kind of love her.
Yeah, no, you do. You just want to give her a big hug. Yeah. She's so adorable.
And it's unclear if things will ever get better for her.
No, she
in
is,
this world,
she is God's strongest soldier. Let me tell you that.
Mm-hmm. There's this really great review from Roger Ebert. Can I please read a segment of it? Okay, it's a good one. I thought this was a really just great take on the film. Welcome to the Dollhouse remembers with brutal and unforgiving accuracy the hell of junior high school. Many movies reconstruct those years as a sort of adolescent paradise. It's a shock watching this film to remember how cruel kids can be to one another and how deeply the wounds cut. Scene after scene, Welcome to the Dollhouse piles on its details, recreating the acute daily misery of being an unpopular adolescent, and remembering, too, how resilient a girl like Dawn can be, how self-absorbed, how hopeful, how philosophical, how enduring.
Wow, I gotta say that review just bumped this movie up 0.5.
Really?
Yeah.
When I read that, I thought, like, that's such a perfect way to talk about it and really verbalized a lot of the things that I couldn't.
No,
how
exactly.
I felt about it.
I also think, like, and we said it earlier, so I'm not gonna like harp on it too much, is like the style, the execution, the personality that this film has,
and especially knowing that it was done on such a low budget,
it really helps what this film is trying to be.
Absolutely.
Like, again, I think had the film not had such a clear voice and such a clear vision, the darker aspects that are like kind of funny in a really fucked up way wouldn't have worked, and I would have been like, this movie sucks.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. No, it all works together in a really, really masterful way.
So my original rating was a 5 out of 10.
Really?
Well, because I literally was just like, oh, that's not at all what I thought it would be.
Fair
and
enough.
I think I was just very put off. But honestly, after the discussion and after realizing that this is the same guy who did Happiness, which is like a whole other beast of a movie, and hearing that review, I'm going to bump it up to a 6.5.
Fair enough. I'm probably going to give this the same as Lady Bird. I'm going to go 8. I really, really enjoyed this. I also love like a quirky little film, and I love a dark comedy, and this is a dark comedy.
Dark comedy. Yeah, this is a black comedy, blackest of all comedies. So,
and I am such a huge Todd Solondz fan. Happiness is like a favorite of mine. In the same vein of it is a black comedy. No, I really, really enjoyed this one. And our next movie is also a quirky little movie.
I like this one a little bit better.
Fair enough.
So our next and final movie is Juno. Juno, made in 2007. It is a drama comedy, a dramedy, if you will. And it was directed by Jason Reitman, and it was written by Diablo Cody, who I think won the best original screenplay.
Sure did, yes. And went on to write Jennifer's Body, which
I don't know how I feel about this winning best original screenplay at the Oscars. Like,
I thought the screenplay was pretty good.
I thought the screenplay was pretty good too. In the same way where you were surprised that Greta Gerwig got best director, I guess I'm surprised in the same way that this won best original screenplay.
That is fair. I do just have to say, though, this is 2007. This is mumblecore, quirky, like,
okay.
This is the start of like these kinds of films.
Okay, that's true.
I think also Juno did come out around the same time that Teen Mom was on MTV. And so teen pregnancy as a crisis, even though apparently teen pregnancy rates were way down from the 90s. But it was showing up so much in media that there was like a lot of talk around Juno and around teen mom and around teen pregnancy at this time. So I think that Juno got a lot of attention for being a part of that cultural conversation.
I believe you when you say that. And you're right. This movie had a huge impact on those like quirky comedy, quick-witted, especially like female-centered movies.
Yes.
This had a huge ripple effect.
100%. And one that this was a first watch for me. I was
crazy.
I was actually surprised to watch it and then kind of think about so many of the movies that I enjoy that were likely inspired by it.
So Juno premiered at the 2007 Toronto International Film Festival, and it was distributed by Fox Searchlight Pictures. It received a limited theatrical release in December of 2007, and after 2 weeks, it was expanded to a wide release.
Yes, and as we said before, it won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay, and it was also nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actress, which was Elliot Page.
Also, I feel like it's important to say, so Elliot Page is a trans male, and he has transitioned from female to male. If we say the word she, we're referring to Juno as the character, not Elliot Page.
Let's get into it. So our protagonist is Juno McGuff, who is a 16-year-old high schooler in Elk River, Minnesota, and she has just discovered that she is pregnant.
Yes, this happened months earlier when she lost her virginity to her friend and longtime admirer, Paulie Bleecker, who is played by Michael Cera.
Comedy gold, as always.
Always the awkward guy.
He's so perfectly cast, and so is Elliot Page.
Yeah.
This movie would not work without Elliot Page.
Yeah, no, he's incredible in it. It's just like that line delivery and that quick wit.
It's so perfect. It feels like the role was written for him.
So Juno goes to a women's clinic and intends to get an abortion, but she finds herself unable to actually go through with the procedure and ultimately decides to go through with the pregnancy and give the baby up for adoption.
Yes. Juno's friend Leah helps her search through the ads in The Penny Saver, and they find a childless married couple in the neighborhood that is looking to adopt. She informs her father, Mac, who's played by J.K. Simmons, and her stepmother, Bren, who's played by Allison Janney. They're also both great in these supporting roles.
They are so amazing. First of all, like dream parents.
So true. I actually really, really liked the scene where she tells them that she's pregnant and she has this plan. She found this couple that she's going to meet with. Obviously, they're disappointed and they're shocked. But they handle it in, I thought, like an admirable way for parents who are clearly very shocked by this and like upset by it.
Well, because they're good parents.
Yeah.
Like, I love Juno's
I also do love that
stepmother.
they're like, well, did you consider other options? And Juno goes, no.
Yeah, yes.
I could never.
Yeah, meanwhile, she was
fully
at the
knowing that
abortion
she was
clinic.
at the clinic that morning.
Yeah. And I love but yeah.
And they're like, oh, you're so good.
Yeah, her stepmother is like immediately like, all right, well, we got to do doctor's visits. You got to get those vitamins. You got to eat healthy. You got to do this. Like and I love the conversation they have afterwards when it's just the two of them.
And they're like, oh my God.
Yeah, they're just like, okay. It's so cute. This whole movie is just so like sweet.
It's a real heart warmer by the
Yes.
end. It really, really is. And watching this in very close succession to Welcome to the Dollhouse, which is chilly.
Yes, it's funny because both movies again have that kind of like purposeful chaos in the design, and they're both so stylish
And quirky.
and very quirky. But you're right, where Welcome to the Dollhouse is cold and
distant.
depressing.
Yeah.
Juno is like pleasant and warm, and like you're kind of just smiling for the majority of the time.
So true. I went into this movie honestly not expecting to like it that much, and I was charmed against my will. So her father, Mac, insists that he go with her to meet the couple, which, like, again, good parent move. So they go together to meet Mark and Vanessa Loring, who are played by Jason Bateman and Jennifer Garner. They live in a big house in an expensive neighborhood, and they agree with Juno on a closed adoption, where Juno will give up all rights to the baby once she hands it over to Mark and Vanessa. Vanessa comes across as very sincere in her desire for a child.
Yeah.
She has been unable to have a child, and I think she actually says in the scene that she knows she's meant to be a mother.
She says, yeah, she's like, oh, you know how you're born to do things? I was born to be a mother. And, you know, she's clearly like a little type A. She's
Yes.
a little overbearing, but like you can tell that she is really not, I don't want to say desperate because it sounds like it has a negative connotation, but you know what I mean? Where it's like, you know, she should be a mother.
Yes. And even Juno, when she says that, Juno's kind of like, okay.
I love how casual Juno is. Like, especially Vanessa is like trying so hard to be like so perfect so that Juno will like agree to this adoption setup. And Juno's like, yeah, I mean, I like you guys, so sure. Like,
Also, Juno is very, I mean, in all of Diablo Cody's screenwriting, she has this little universe where everyone is like extremely clever and speaks in all these little quippy remarks.
oh, this movie loves a little like
Loves little quip.
yeah.
But it's actually, Juno is almost more over the top casual and quippy when in situations where she's uncomfortable.
Yes. I have that in my notes and I'm so happy you brought it up.
She is borderline, like, trying to find the right words to say it, but she is weirdly chill in this meeting with them in a way that she hasn't been in other scenes that can come across like, oh, she just is pregnant but doesn't care. She's nervous and it's her defense mechanism.
I think it's also really well shown when she tells Paulie that she's pregnant.
Yes.
She's like sitting out on his lawn and she's like joking with him.
And it's this forced, like, I'm too cool for school. I don't even care.
And then when she tells him, like, you can see that vulnerability. And then she immediately kind of starts up with the quips again. And you're so right. It is clearly like some sort of wall that she puts up.
Yes.
And I have later in my notes, like, when we see that wall break down. But yeah. Mark, the husband, tells Juno that he works from home composing commercial jingles. He's a musician. And he abandoned rock music in his youth. His band memorabilia is now confined to like a little single like basement room.
His man cave.
Yeah, that Vanessa has kind of designated for him. So like we said before, Vanessa clearly like kind of wears the pants in the relationship. Juno learns that she and Mark kind of have similar tastes in music and movies, and she starts visiting him pretty frequently to like hang out.
Which is weird off the bat.
And everyone says that.
That's another thing, and I do think that all three of the movies we watched do a good job of showing a little bit of immaturity in their very young main characters. Actually, compared to the boy movies, Stand By Me and The Dead Poet Society, all of these boys are like surprisingly so mature and
right. They're very rarely flawed in like a way that a child would be.
exactly. So Juno starts visiting Mark to like hang out and listen to music and watch movies. And everyone in her life is like, that's kind of weird.
No, literally like her friend, I know for a fact, Allison Janney's character is like, you can't do that anymore. Like that's not normal. And she gets so defensive.
And Juno, because she doesn't see what's wrong with it. She doesn't see that it's completely inappropriate for this married man to be hanging out with a 16 or 17-year-old girl. Casually.
Right.
Even though, like, yes, she's having their baby, but that it's still weird. It's still weird that he's so into hanging out with her.
And again, she doesn't hang out with Vanessa.
No.
Well,
it's always when Vanessa's not home.
I also love how, so something that's mentioned in like the beginning of the movie is that Juno's mother abandoned her and like has a new family or something like that. And I love how I think it's very, very subtly done. And maybe it's just my own viewing experience, but I feel like Diablo Cody and like the direction of this movie and Juno's character in particular kind of vilifies Vanessa very early on and like kind of victimizes Mark's character. So like,
yes,
you know,
she's this control freak who doesn't allow you to be yourself.
Yes, and the fact that like Juno doesn't really connect with Vanessa at all, and shouldn't really seem like she wants to. But then with Mark, she like immediately clicks with him and really like bonds with him and sees him as a buddy. And they also kind of like Mark will kind of like complain like, oh yeah, Vanessa kind of like kicked me out over here, and she's like, oh, that's not cool. Like they kind of like bond in this way of like, again, like vilifying her. And I think it's just a subtle kind of, I don't think Juno realizes what she's doing, but I think it's very purposeful.
Yes.
And it's very connected with her being abandoned by her mother.
I would totally agree.
So one day Juno and her friend Leah run into Vanessa at the mall where they watch her interact with children, and she just looks like completely in her element. She's like total natural when it comes to working with kids. Juno approaches Vanessa and encourages her to like talk to the baby, and it's a very sweet scene. And what I was saying before about like her kind of vilifying, I think this is like a real turning point for Juno.
This is the major turning point with Vanessa, where she actually sees this is a woman who's meant to be a mother.
Yeah, and she can see like, oh, she might be a little overbearing, but like, you're right.
But she means well.
Yeah, she means well, and she knows that she made a good decision with her.
Yes.
Like, at the end of the day, these are the people that Juno's going to give her baby to, and she knows that Vanessa is the right choice.
Yes. As the pregnancy progresses, Juno is struggling with her feelings for Paulie in his little short shorts.
His little running shorts.
While she has maintained an outwardly indifferent attitude towards him throughout her pregnancy, she gets really jealous when she finds out that he's asked another girl to prom. Rightfully so.
Okay, well, to be fair, to play devil's advocate.
No, I know she tells him that.
She says she doesn't want to go to prom or like something like that.
But it's also all the pent up anger to it. Like, I'm a laughingstock in the neighborhood at school. Have this giant belly. Everyone sees me. Like, the evidence of this one thing that we did is something that I have to literally physically carry around and bear. And you're just able to go to prom, and this has not affected you in any way.
Yeah, I love the scene where she confronts him and she like basically spills her heart out like that. And he's like, you're the one who wanted to remain distant. You're the one who broke my heart. And she's kind of like left speechless because it's like, he's not wrong, but also like she's so vulnerable, and she's already, high school is a hard enough time on its own. Add in such a major factor like pregnancy, not only for your own sense of self, but also for like people judging you, people around you making assumptions. Like, that's so hard. Yeah, I want the guy who I like to like be in my corner and not fucking take another girl to prom. So it's hard because like they're both wrong, but they're both right.
Yes. So shortly before the due date, so Juno is really pregnant at this point, Juno visits Mark again, and their interaction becomes inappropriate.
Oh my God, this scene hurts to watch so bad.
It's so bad. He like basically tries to make a move on her.
Which like,
ew.
Yeah.
Like, disgusting.
I don't know about you, but like watching, okay, well, this isn't the first time I've watched this movie, so I knew he would do that. But like,
the whole thing is you see the grooming.
Yes.
Like, you literally watch him groom her, and she is young, so she doesn't realize she's being groomed.
Like, the first interaction they have, you're like, why is this grown man like so buddy with this 16-year-old girl?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, dude? And then it builds up to this, and it's just awful.
And Mark also confides in her that he plans on leaving Vanessa to figure his life out, and that he's like, I'm not actually sure if I'm ready to be a father. And Juno's obviously extremely distraught. See, also, she comes from a broken home, and she was really adamant that her baby go to a 2-parent household because she wants a better life for her child than the one that she feels that she had. So she's like, her first instinct is to just say, no, you can't leave Vanessa. No, you can't leave Vanessa. because
Dude.
I've made the decision. I want Vanessa to have my baby, and you need to be there because she needs to have two parents.
Dude, what a loser, too.
Oh my God, he's so lame. And
He's
it's like
such a
He's
loser.
like walking around his band t-shirts and he's like, yeah, I might want to like start up my band again. And I don't know if I want to be a father. Like, you're actually pathetic.
You're like 39, dude. Like,
And Jason Bateman is so good at this kind of role because he is kind of so naturally charming.
yes, he's very charismatic.
Yeah, that you get why his charm worked so effectively on Juno.
So when Vanessa gets home, Mark admits that he doesn't feel ready to be a father. I love the line where Juno's like upset and Vanessa's like, what did you do? Because it's like, oh, you so know that like.
That he did something to upset her.
Yes.
Like immediately. She's like,
right.
you did something.
And it just is so telling of their relationship. Mm-hmm. So Juno is like super upset, panics, drives away and breaks down in tears on the side of the road. And I actually like have to go into a rant. I love this car scene and I feel like this is such a great like scene for what we're talking about in this episode with like adolescence. It also makes me cry. I cried really hard at the scene because you, like we said earlier with Juno's quips and her humor kind of being her defense mechanism, this is where you really see her vulnerability. And correct me if you think differently, but like this is where you really see her age. Like,
yeah,
this is where it really hits you like, oh my God, she's 16 and pregnant. Think of how terrifying and how lonely that is. Like, I wrote it in my notes, but I said you can see her vulnerability, her fear for herself, but also for her unborn child. Like, now she's unsure of like the life that this baby is going to live, but you can also see like she's scared.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like in that moment, she's kind of like, oh my gosh, do I have to raise this baby myself now? Did I make a mistake with not getting the abortion? You can see like her abandonment and kind of like, not for lack of a better word, like her mommy issues coming out here. And it's just like, it's just so well done.
Agreed.
This scene. Like, I just love that this is the scene like where we see her kind of break down all her walls.
Yeah, and I think that she has been she's like incredibly sarcastic, incredibly defensive throughout, that we needed this scene
Exactly.
at some point to see that she is a human being, and not only is she a human being, she's a young girl.
Who's pregnant.
Yeah. So later, Juno actually drives back to the Lorings' home and she leaves a note addressed to Vanessa on the front porch. And at this time, we don't know what the note says. She goes home and has a heartfelt discussion with her father and accepts that she is in love with Polly.
Again, just
which
like,
she's kind of been denying
yes,
throughout
but
the
like,
pregnancy.
It's so cute when she like talks about like if it's possible people can like be together forever. Like, again, like you can see that she has this like kind of suppressed trauma.
Yeah.
And it's affects her very much. And this is the scene where she finally kind of like has to face it head on, and her being like, oh, I think I love Polly. I'm like, oh, these movies make me cry.
So she goes to Polly's track practice. Polly doing track is like a running kind of gag throughout the film, that he's
Yes.
always in these little track shorts with the headband. And it looks
Yes.
so silly, but it's just like really great for the little quirky world of the film.
It's inspired lots of Halloween costumes. That's
Oh
for sure.
my God. And she confesses her feelings to Polly, and he obviously reciprocates. He's been waiting for her.
He's in love with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And her being pregnant has not deterred him.
No, not at all. So not long after this, she goes into labor and gives birth to a little baby boy. Polly deduces that she's giving birth. He decides not to tell him because he has a really important track meet, but he figures it out when she doesn't show up. And he like rushes out and goes immediately to the hospital. It's so sweet.
It's very, very sweet.
Yeah.
So we then find out that she does end up giving the baby to Vanessa, who is going to raise him as a single adoptive mother, which I loved this.
It's so, I actually am getting like a little choked up again.
I know. This is a movie about unconventional motherhood. Vanessa is an unconventional mother. Juno is an unconventional mother. Even there's a little subplot with her relationship with her stepmother growing closer throughout the pregnancy. And because they were maybe a little antagonistic at first, and this pregnancy kind of connects them. And I found that very, very sweet. And I just really loved this choice to end the film with Juno giving the baby to Vanessa, because all she ever wanted for the baby was to give her to a household that will love her, and Vanessa will be the best mother.
No, Vanessa will put that child first no matter what.
Absolutely. And we see that on the wall in the baby's new nursery. Vanessa has actually framed the letter that Juno gave her, which says, Vanessa, if you're still in, I'm still in.
So cute.
It's adorable.
It really is just like a pleasant, quirky comedy.
Oh, the ending has just smiling ear to ear.
Yeah, you have like one happy tear just rolling down your face, and it also ends with like Juno and Polly like together as a couple.
Yes, and as a teenage couple.
Yes.
Like back doing normal teenager things, which is nice because that's what Juno is. And it was just unfortunate that she was in this situation, but
I don't really have anything negative to say about the movie. Like, there's nothing that really harps on me. Like, I think the performances are solid. Again, I think Elliot Page is like perfect.
That would have been my only thing, is I think that if Juno was played by someone else, she could have gotten grading.
No, Elliot Page is so... It's almost like the role was written for him.
He's the only person that could have done it, like, period. And actually make Juno likable.
And same thing with like Michael Cera. Like, he is so like likable and sweet, and like also like a little bit like the way that he is so kind to Juno, and the way that he is like so ridiculously in love with her. It actually, like, I'm kind of like, honestly, if I was in high school, I totally would have wanted a boyfriend like Polly.
No, right? And they really established that Juno and Polly are best friends.
Yeah.
Like, before the romance started, they were like that.
Yeah. They just like, they get each other.
Get each other so completely. And in every interaction, it's so clear. Like, they have good chemistry in the few scenes that they do have together.
Yeah.
Because we mostly spend time with Juno when she's avoiding him. But yeah, no, I really, really liked it. Again, I was charmed against my will. I did not think I would like this movie, and it did really charm me.
Look what happens when you try new things.
I'm going to give Juno a 7.
I put a 7.5, but honestly, it teeters between like 7.5 and 8. Like,
if you had asked me right after the movie finished, I would have said 8.
Yeah.
Because again, it just left me with such a happy little feeling. But after sitting on it for a while, and then especially compared to, I did prefer Lady Bird and Welcome to the Dollhouse. I just preferred them as films. But yeah, if you had asked me right after, I would have said 8. But after sitting on it, I'm going to go 7.
I think the only reason why it's not like immediately an 8 for me is I think the type of comedy, and again, that quirky quippiness, can get old like if you rewatch it a little too much. Like, it had been a long time since I rewatched this movie for the podcast, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot how great this movie is. But I think if you were to like put it on right now, I'd be like, I think I need to like sit with it a little bit longer. Like, the type of comedy is very particular,
and I feel the same way about Jennifer's Body.
Yeah.
I watched Jennifer's Body in close succession, two times in close succession, and I remember really not liking it the second time. And I think just because the kind of Diablo Cody quippiness of the script just started to get a little grating for me.
It's just like that kind of thing where if you hear it like too often, it can get a little annoying.
But overall, super charming film. We have a few movies that we're watching for next week.
I can't even tell you how excited I am, Olivia.
Oh, I know you're excited. I'm scared.
Beaming. I'm literally beaming.
So next week, we're going to be covering anime movies. We're going to be watching Akira, Perfect Blue, and Howl's Moving Castle.
If you couldn't tell, I love anime.
I have not seen 2 out of the 3.
I actually have only not seen 1 out of the 3. I've seen bits and pieces, but I literally am so excited. I've been trying to get Olivia into like anime for a long time.
It's been a slow moving process.
I'm slowly getting her there. And
You're chipping away.
We'll talk about it more next week, but I'm just so excited. The 3 movies we're watching are so good. They're masterpieces in their own way. And I'm going to like, that episode's going to be like 5 hours long.
No,
so.
I'm excited. I'm really excited to like hear your take on them, and I'm excited to watch them.
Yeah.
So yeah, please feel free to watch along with us and then rejoin us next week so we can all chat. That's it for the episode, I think.
Yeah.
I'm Olivia.
I'm Maggie.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Or listening.
Oh yeah. Bye.